bit of it.
Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Get it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
NASCAR Championship Weekend returns to Phoenix Raceway November 5th through the 7th.
A wild season of unexpected will culminate in Phoenix with drivers putting it all on the line for their shot
And earning the title of NASCAR Cup Series champion.
featuring 4 championship races in 3 days.
Don't miss your chance to witness history from atop the grandstands as the action goes 5 wide into the iconic dog play.
Or from up close with access to the fan-friendly infield experience.
Get your tickets to see the NASCAR Championship in person.
Go to PhoenixRaceway.com.
Hurry, tickets won't last much longer.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Every year, millions of men, women, and children are sex trafficked worldwide, including right here in your own backyard. Victims can be of any socioeconomic background, age, race, gender, or nationality. Traffickers take advantage of individuals who are susceptible for a variety of reasons: violence, manipulation, or false promises of providing shelter and food. Well-paying jobs or romantic relationships are the tactics used to lure victims into trafficking situations. This can happen in any community. CC's Hope Center's mission is to improve the life and future of young women ages 18 to 24 who are at risk or victims of human trafficking and sexual exploitation. Attend the November 9th, 2021 Night of Light event and learn more about the issue while supporting this worthy cause. CC's Hope Center is a nonprofit 501c3 and an Arizona qualified charitable organization. You can receive an Arizona tax credit for your donation. For more information, go to ccscenter.org. That's CECES center.org or call 480-465-7044.
Think you know about meth? Think again. Today's methamphetamine is far more potent, more addictive, and more deadly than ever before. Today's meth is often laced with the deadly drug fentanyl. In fact, deaths from meth use have doubled in Arizona. What can you do? Get the facts at thenewmeth.com and know there's hope and resources for recovery. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 3 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He's feeling a little under the weather, but don't worry, he'll be around tomorrow for all the big broadcasts and all the fun at Phoenix Raceway. But today we got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. Keon's in there pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, well, Ralph, you haven't been around in a while, man. You haven't been around in a while.
I haven't. I've been up north.
Yeah, you've been out in the boot,
In the boot.
hanging around where they've got Caribou coffee and stuff like that.
Yeah, Caribou coffee is good.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It seems like, and I'm not trying to accuse you of running away like a wee girl, but it seems like every time something goes wrong with the Seahawks, you evaporate, you run away, and then we don't get to talk to you about it. And now they're on a bye week, so there's really nothing to say about it now. I think that's the only reason you're here right now is because they're on a bye week, because the Dodgers got knocked out of the World Series. They didn't get a chance to even play. Right. All of your stuff has gone wrong. Your picks are garbage. Your fantasy football is garbage. And your Seattle team is now garbage because Geno Smith. So I just feel like this is your chance. Look, even Robert Sarver has a legal team coming out and, trying to clear some stuff up. But this is your chance. You have the microphone. This is where you get to stand up for yourself, any one of the things on that list I just gave, if you like.
Well, I mean, the Seahawks are not going to lose this week. That's good.
That's a
and
guarantee.
they're coming off a
It's
one-game
a
winning.
lock.
It's a one-game winning streak, right? I mean, so that's good. And Russell Wilson.
Wait,
is,
who did you guys beat?
Jacksonville, who the Cardinals barely beat. Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, we beat that mostly beaten team better than you did.
No, that was a joke. When Geno Smith has the game of his life, you know something's wrong.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, and the Dodgers. I mean, I'm not upset with the Dodgers. I mean, they did what they could with what they had left. It was just injuries that got them. So, but I'm happy for the Braves.
Excuses.
I think the Braves. It's a great win for the Braves. I'm happy for them. Happy for Jock Peterson.
Mm.
What else did you talk about? Let's see here. What else is bad for me?
Yeah, what's up with your picks?
My picks have been okay.
Not this week.
No,
Not this last week.
what did I have? 10?
You had like 6.
No,
I don't know.
no, I had 10.
Well, I know you're about 10 behind me.
No,
And I think you are.
and I won my fantasy game. I beat Rosalie.
Did you really?
Yes.
Wow.
I told you I was going
We're
to.
all garbage right now, and I'm glad you did that. That was when at the beginning of the year you had the number 1 pick,
Yes.
and what the only thing I said to you is beat Rosalie.
You did,
With that number 1 pick,
You
you
did.
should be able to beat Rosalie.
and I did.
And you haven't beaten really hardly anybody else, but you did make good on that.
I did. Well, I'm 3-5, like 7 people in this.
Wow, but you're
league,
so
man.
far down in the standings. Like, oh, you
No.
did win one. You
I
did.
think I was the highest scoring team last week.
There you go. Wow. So she's got to be depressed.
I'm hoping
That doesn't
she got to
that
beat him.
doesn't bode well for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, 162 to 146.
Yeah.
Wow, good for you. Good for
Gotta
you.
be careful, Rosalie. Don't ever come at me like that.
Oh. Well, anyways, it's good to have you back, and we have so many things that we have to talk about. There's some things I'm not feeling like I want to talk about. One of them, I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about this Robert Sarver thing. This big, article came out in the ESPN, and these allegations are amazing and incredible. And if any part of it is true, well, that'll be the end of that.
Right.
But it just doesn't have the feel of that it's solid to me. Now, again, there's a one thing in there that was confirmed that did happen. He pantsed a guy. Well, I don't know if that's enough to lose your team over, but I think somebody's got a lawsuit. But there's a lot of allegations about sexual harassment. There's allegations about racism and things that he said. Where he liked to use the N-word in retelling stories of other people using the N-word, and then he was perplexed on why he couldn't use it. So I don't know how much of this is true. The only, person that was really named was an ex-head coach. And so that gives some credibility to that. I guess some people are worried about retribution. But all I know is I want to wait a moment on this. I want to see some of these people come forward. I want to see some more of this examined. This is not a cut and dry thing where we have a recording of Donald Sterling. By the way, I am very well qualified to help you all through this time because I've done this in California when it happened to the Clippers. But he had a recording where he was saying some stuff and you're like, whoa, that's racist. Now there's these allegations and a person who is an ex-employee who could have a grudge. But then again, you look at that and say, well, that's actually, that's a reputable source. I'm not saying it's not a problem. I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm not saying that 70 people that were, former Suns employees and current Suns employees are lying. I'm just saying I want to take a moment and see some more of this sort of solidify.
Yeah, I think if I've learned anything in probably the last 7-8 years is take a step back. Let's things really come out. Let the facts come out because God knows what someone puts out there if it's real. This is not Jimmy the Greek, right? Do you remember the Jimmy the Greek?
Yeah,
thing?
I remember.
I mean, that was
remember
blatant stupidity on national television, right?
Yep.
I mean, this is different. I think we just got to sit back and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and but some of the stories, if even like one of those stories ends up being true,
he's in a world of hurt if one of those stories is true.
Yeah.
One.
And the thing is, some of them are true. The ones that aren't going to get him into like too much trouble, like he pants the guy, that you're a jerk for doing that, but you're not. they're not going to make you sell the team because you pants the guy.
You're going to go to sensitivity training. You're going to give this guy a little paycheck, and that'll be the end of that.
Well, you've all pantsed the guy. Come on.
Not since junior high.
Come on.
And I don't know, not in a workplace.
No.
I think the last time I pantsed somebody was in college, and it was at a party, and we were just, being ridiculous like college kids do.
Actually, no, high school. There's my buddy, one of my best friends. His name was Jeff. It was Jeff, and he was on one of those pull-up bars in the weight room, and there was a girl sitting there on the leg press, and I came up behind him when he was up there because he's like all flirting, trying to be cool, and I just went. I didn't know he didn't have underwear on.
Oh my god! Has your wife ever pantsed you?
Not.
I'm talking about like my wife has done that to me just to be a smart aleck.
No, not to be mean. No.
Oh, my wife has. She's mean.
So yeah, that's a crazy thing to hear about a bazillionaire doing that to an employee, and okay.
And then they asked him not to tell HR. Like that's a
telltale sign there.
Yeah. So
don't tell HR.
There are certain things
Please don't sue us.
And it's funny because like there's I think the article is actually very well written. What they do is they say, here's the accusation. Here are the people accusing, whether they're named or anonymous. And then they ask the legal team.
No. That's not how that went down, Keon. I think once the Suns legal people got wind of it, they threatened all sorts of hellfire on the ESPN. Is that you're going to put that story, every allegation follow up with our reply. I have a feeling that the Suns legal team had a lot to do with the way this story ended up being finally written in the end.
You're right.
And the ESPN legal team going, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're still going to write the story and then they're going to put it out there because it would be odd if they didn't reach out and ask for a comment, but the way that every accusation had a legal reply, that was definitely the Suns and Robert Sarver and his legal team. But there are just some stories where they just admit that it happened, but Robert Sarver's legal team will go, he remembers this very differently. And then there's like an alternate telling of the story. So there's some truth and validity to the story. It's just
even the ones you're like, whoa, and he's like, well, it wasn't like that. I didn't say it like that. I said it like this. Whoa, it's still wrong. It's still wrong.
Like it's still not great, but what it does is it removes that smoking gun that we were talking about earlier, where there's nothing concrete enough for you to go, Robert Sarver, definitely bad dude, get him out the league. We don't have that in this article.
So 70 current and former Suns employees so far, and maybe I'm wrong in the story, only like 2 names, and only 2 actual names appeared, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, of people who say, yeah, that happened and this is how it happened. And okay, so 68. Well, I have a feeling there's going to be more people step forward. Now they're going to feel a little more brave. They're not going to feel as threatened, and they'll start to speak up. But the other thing that's happening right now is a lot of people are speaking up saying none of this is true. None of this is, well, at least not in my experience. It hasn't been true. A lot of people saying stuff. There's, listen, you're allowed to be an a-hole, okay, in the world. If you're an a-hole, okay, but you're not allowed to do certain things. There are certain things you can't get away with. We saw Dolan of the Knicks, jibber jabbering off at people, give them a hard time in the stands, people who were there. And of course, Sarver also has done the same thing, jibber jabbered and given season ticket holders a hard time in the stands. So you're allowed to do that. You can be a jerk owner at your own peril, meaning, well, fine, screw you. I'm not going to be your fan anymore. I'm not going to spend any more money. He's like, that's fine. There's another one to take your place. Okay, fine. Now you look like a cigar chomping guy with a top hat from those old movies. But the other stuff, you can't do that. No. And you can't do anything in the racial realm and survive. Now, there's no tape recording yet. I'm going to say yet because I kind of have a feeling, when people get more brave, that something may or may not surface. Right. But even if it doesn't, so here's what happens next. The NBA is going to take their time with this. They're going to have their own investigation. When ESPN comes calling, you maybe are holding back a little. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But if the NBA comes around, starts investigating, people are going to be a little more willing to talk to them because now they're going to be a little less afraid of the ramifications of what Robert Sarver might do. So we may get more truth out of that. And again, you have to leave the door open for the truth to go in the favor of Robert Sarver as well. 70 current and former Suns employees. That's kind of hard to shrug off.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
So basically, that's one man going to 70 people. Liar, 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 liar. No, I pantsed you. Liar, 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 liar. Well, it's a little different than what you said. Liar, 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 liar. You see, it just, somebody was saying on Twitter, where there's smoke, there's fire. Not always. Sometimes there's a smoke grenade. So I'm just wanting to take a moment on this before, before we go crazy on it. That's all I'm saying. We have nothing to gain by this. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's right, because when Donald Sterling did his thing and I was in Palm Springs, cut and dry, easy to do, support the team. If anything, feel sorry for the guys on the team and the people who have to work in that front office and the coaching staff. These are all good people. Keep supporting the team. Trust the NBA, who has done the right thing in the past, to do the right thing again.
Yeah, it's just they as long as they take their time with it and make sure that they've got it right. Like what happened with Jerry Richardson and the Panthers in the NFL. He was the Panthers.
No. Don't even compare the NBA and the NFL. NFL is there to protect the owners. I don't think Adam Silver is going to do the same thing here.
I don't think so either. Otherwise, Donald Sterling would still continue to own the team. But in the case of Jerry Richardson and the Panthers, he didn't have any allies among the owners. So it was very easy for the league to just come in and just stomp him out of existence, which they did because he had emails and all the other stuff that was just documented stuff. And I think that that's what we're missing here. Before we jump to conclusions, that's what I would like to see, is some form of documented something, as opposed to just people saying it, which is still valid, but not as valid.
Well, it's going to be required by the NBA to go ahead and make that strong of a case. FedFan says, I'm skeptical because Earl Watson is a bitter ex-employee and Rich Paul is a slime ball with an axe to grind. So here is exactly what I'm talking about, FedFan. It needs to be some more names, some more credibility added to this. That's why I keep saying, it doesn't feel completely solid. Because when I'm reading what Watson had to say, I'm like, but I don't know. So listen, I'm not denying, I'm not standing up for, I'm just saying, I feel like I want to take a moment with this. That's all. I just want to take a moment. I think we all know, we feel, we have a hunch, we know how this is going to go. There's time for that.
I don't feel great about it.
And there will be, and there will be jokes. I'm just saying,
a lot of them,
but I'll hold on to that for right now. Let's just see what happens. It's very serious, very, very serious. And if you had to talk to 70 current and former employees to get this story, and this is probably just the tip of the horrible iceberg. We knew Sarver was a micromanager, so that some of this stuff, not a surprise. A lot of it, holy crap balls, that's a surprise. And well, we'll talk more about that another time. 888-368-1580. Big Stanky says, Jeffrey, I'm at work, so I can't hear your response. Well, then I don't know what your point is. He says, that Bruce Jacobs guy reminds me of a West Coast Clay Travis, and Jets fans are so annoying that if you take that bet, I'll cover the meal if you lose. F the Jets. Okay.
Wow.
It's all right, man. I got this. I'm not taking the bet unless it was just a straight up bet. Did he finally relent and decide that he would take the bet as a straight up bet? Because I don't have time for this kind of silliness.
I never heard any different.
Let me explain to Ralph. He might not have been around to hear this. So Bruce Jacobs gets all excited when he sees that the Jets have at least a momentary glimpse at what it's like to win a game and have a quarterback.
Right.
And so he texts me and says, hey, let's do a bet. It's Colts versus Jets. And I'm laughing. I'm like, well, I'm not all that confident in my Colts these days, but okay. And then he comes back and says, yeah, but you got to give me 10.5. What? 10.5? Like, no, it's a straight up bet. You win, you win, I win. That's that. And then, of course, now he's been calling me a coward. Now he's just talking a lot of garbage on the morning show, which would bother me if more than 3 people listen to that.
Right. Yeah.
But since I know, it's more just an annoyance. That's all this is.
I mean, if he's that confident, what does he need points for? Right.
That's what I keep
mean,
saying.
Be a man and say you're going to win.
It's like the opposite. If you
Right.
want the bet,
Yeah.
believe in the bet and take the bet.
Suck up and do it.
So I didn't
Yeah.
ask her this.
Like if you really want the point spread that bad, there's a million apps.
Sure.
And I told Bruce this, that you could go find an app
Sure.
and get your own lunch. I mean, if you really think they're going to cover, why aren't you on FanDuel,
Right.
looking up what the bet is?
I like that smarts in his world equates as cowardice. It's all right. But then again, the Jets in his world equates as an actual NFL team. But yes,
Yeah.
we are going to do our NFL fan pick'em picks here in a bit. Now, of course, I've said this before. You're probably too late now to join in and win the grand prize of $1,580 or the second prize of $500 presented by Harman Solar. But we do every week give away an NFL jersey to the weekly winner. Now, this is an NFL jersey of your choice. Any team, any name, any era, home or away, any size, whatever you want, whatever you need. That is what you get for being a weekly winner. So you can still go to 1580thefanatic.com. Click on the link there. It explains to you how to do these things and join up and try to see how well you can do on a weekly basis and get yourself one of them jerseys. Ralph, you're not going to win the jersey. Yeah, and you're not going to win the main prize. I'm sorry.
I'm right there.
You realize that I am so far. I didn't realize. I thought I had a bad week, Keon. I am 5 ahead of the actual person right now who will win $1,580 if the prize were given away today.
How many did you win last week?
11.
So you got one more than me.
No,
I'm not Randy.
didn't
Randy had like 5
I thought you had like 9 or 6 or.
I think I had 10.
I don't know. I'll have to go back to the records. I have records,
Really?
Yes, I have records. I keep records
You
on
have a record
everything.
player.
Huh?
Do you have a record player?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay.
I don't have any.
And your
vinyl.
records are worthless.
Well, okay, you're right. That was hurtful. That was hurtful.
I've got more.
Let's see. Thunder Snow says Ralph has been totally ducking the fourth dimension.
Wow.
He's here today for 2 hours. Hefty Lefty says, welcome back, Ralph. Still not using the just for men on the chin and the stash, I see. I don't know why that bothers you so much,
I think
Hefty.
it's hilarious.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to our NFL fan pick'em picks and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. SimpleGreen.com.
UFC 268 at Madison Square Garden Saturday. Kamaru Usman, the reigning welterweight champion, a -310 favorite against Colby Covington, +240. Rose Namajunas challenging Zhang Weili for the women's strawweight title. Zhang -120, Namajunas +100. An early look at the 2022 baseball season. The Dodgers looking to enter the year once again the favorite to win the World Series, +500. The Braves and Astros, this year's pennant winners, each at +1,000. White Sox and Yankees, +1,200. Thursday night football, the Colts at home against the Jets. Indianapolis, a double-digit favorite at home, -10.5, the over-under 46. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Hi, Randy here from the Race Setup. Ever hear of Built Bar? It's the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Built is also the official partner of NASCAR, so you know it's the real deal. It's low in calories, low in sugar, high in protein. But you won't believe how good it tastes. They have all sorts of flavors like coconut almond, mint brownie, raspberry, cookies and cream, and double chocolate. My favorite. Where do you get them? At Built.com. Use code Randy10 and get 10% off your order. Randy10 for 10% off at Built.com.
Get your college game on. Get ready for the fight songs. Get ready for the traditions. Get ready for the rivalries. It's college football.
He's gone. There he goes through the line. He'll take it to the house, 90 yards.
And we've got the games you want to hear. Wide open in the tight end row. Walks to the end zone. College football lives on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, the Blender here on 1580, the Fanatic, Arizona sports betting station. And tonight, yes, it's the Jets at the Colts. It's a Colts home game. I mean, I don't know how much of a difference that makes most of the time, but it may have some positive effect. I mean, it's just the Jets, right?
Well, hopefully the Jets can find the stadium. Yeah.
Should I be worried about this this white guy? Okay, that came out wrong. Especially in a day where Sarver's in trouble, I should really rephrase that. Should I be worried about this Mike White guy? I don't think I should be. I think that was just like the moment of his life that is probably not going to be repeated again, right?
Probably not. I mean, you look at guys that have been able to have some lightning in a bottle moments. Your Gardner Minshew's, my football team and Taylor Heineke. There were moments where those guys look good, but overall, consistently, teams sit down and look at you on film and go, okay, we can figure out how to stop you. I'm pretty sure the Colts can figure out how to slow down and or stop Mike White with the weapons and offensive line that he has. Also, it's not like he's a guy that got plopped onto a team that just had everything going for him, and then he's handling all that business. It's like, no, this team's also still bad at the end of the day.
Yeah. His entire career was completed in one day. You realize that. He goes out there for the Jets. He wins the game. And because his 37 completions are the most by a quarterback in their first start, and he threw for 400 yards in a debut, his game jersey and ball from the win are now going to be at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Oh. He gets to be in the Hall of Fame right now because of that one game.
That's cool. I'm happy for him. I don't know. He's not building a career on this, but good for him.
Yeah, I just don't see this turning into a weekly thing for him. Now, okay, just so you know, in full disclosure, I did grab him on fantasy football just in case. Just want to see what happens if he starts to be more consistent than some other. And as a backup, I've got a very good starting quarterback, but I grab it just to see what happens because I can't say for sure, and I don't know for sure that tonight he's not going to come out there and set the world on fire. And by the way, today I'm wearing a Colts watch, I'm wearing a Colts hat, wearing a Colts t-shirt, wearing a Colts button up there. I got all Colts out because I figured I need all the good juju that I could come up with for my Colts, because if they get beat by the Jets, I'm going to put myself into a medically induced Colts coma, and I'm not going to even talk about them, acknowledge them. I'm not going to watch them. I'm not going to wear any jersey. It's just until the season's over. I'm just going to go into maybe it's better to say a Colts hibernation, because I just can't. If they lose to the Jets, I just can't.
I don't blame you. That's a tough spot to be in if they were to lose. I don't think it's going to happen though.
Blissful Hayes, I'm not falling for that. Just a Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Ralph, Harmon Solar, your beard looks a little more gray. What's up? Go Cards.
What's up with the beard?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Robert Surprise says, I'm playing to Horn Ninja with the name Jeffrey and Christian in League 6. Is that you? No, again, it's never me. In all of the other Blender leagues, we got about 10 of them. If you see my name, that's just the commissioner slot. Whoever the other name is, that's really who you are playing. But good luck to you. King of Kitten says, hey, Ralph, Dodgers plus 500. You like that?
I do. Dodgers are going to be great next year.
They have already been declared the likely winner of the series.
No excuses, but injuries stopped them this year. They will be back next year. Trevor Bauer opted in, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but
I think it's the curse of Puigin in our pool. I think that's why that you can't get past it. So maybe if somebody apologizes for the Puigin in the pool, you might be able to move forward and win something.
I wouldn't apologize. I mean, would you?
I would not Puig in somebody's pool, would I?
What if you did?
I wouldn't. I never would.
I don't know that I buy that.
You know why? Because I believed the teachers was like, well, there's a special chemical in the pool, and if you do anything in there, it'll turn purple. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to be the one that gets caught doing that. So turned out that wasn't true at all. Nope. There is no special chemical in the pool.
Lies. Wow.
Yeah. And because of that, I've never Puiged in the pool.
Yeah. Out of fear. Okay.
Yeah. Not even my own pool. Just a Tip says, not for nothing, this white dude doesn't have a lot of tape on him for the opposition to watch. Yeah, he's essentially though a rookie. You know what I mean?
You can
Yeah.
watch college tape.
Yeah. I don't know.
At Western Kentucky, I think, right?
Well, Keon is assuring me that I don't have to worry about this kid.
I feel pretty confident that you don't have to. Also, every time I see his face, he just looks 12 to me. But
yeah,
regardless,
as you get older, they all do. It was the worst day of my life when I realized I was a year older than Kurt Warner. How do you like that?
I
like that.
The day that I was watching the NBA draft and Ricky Rubio got drafted, that is the first player I was older than that I saw enter the league, and I went, oh, okay, all right, it's all downhill from here.
Yep.
Yeah, you have no idea, kid.
And I was still ahead of myself. It's only gotten worse.
Shamoy says, "Don't worry, Jeffrey. Mike White is nothing. He'll only live up to Joe Namath." Yeah, I guess I'm okay then. Hefty Lefty says, "Sorry, Ralph. It's just visually jarring for a second when I watched it on the YouTube. Only playful ribbing. They said rubbing for a fellow real Lakers fan." Didn't sound very friendly though.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think what he said was he wants to rub you.
Oh,
He may want to rub you.
well, he needs to talk to Pippi first.
Bob Shwersky says, "Hey, no worries there, Jeffrey. Here's the score. It's going to be Jets 17, the Colts 28. You know what's sad is that's a realistic score. It should be like 58-17. But that's probably about right. Moist One says, "My stash is just for men." All right. If you throw any money on the Dodgers right now at those odds, you have worms for brains, says the Moist One. Why is that? Because I may have worms for brains when it comes to betting. I don't understand. Robert in Surprise says, "Hey, maybe they could just play the game on St. Patrick's Day so you don't notice the pool color." Okay. What? No, we're not. Huh? Reaper says Rams are taking the division this week.
Very possible. Very
let's see
possible.
here. Hold on. Maybe not. You know what? We're going to do our picks. Should we start up our picks? Let's do our picks. I was a couple more quick texts here. Mr. Pink Eye says, "Sorry, I'm late. Randy, restart the show." Well, Randy's not with us today. He's not. He's feeling a little under the weather. He'll be back tomorrow. Stewie says it's going to be 4th of July and November tonight. Mike White is going to light it up. Okay, if you think so. Fed Fan says, "Jeffrey, have you not learned anything yet about bragging?" What was I bragging about? I don't know what you're talking about. The ironic part, she says, is I can't stand Sarver, and yet I'm defending him right now. Yeah, and I had a text earlier, somebody getting upset with me. And here's the thing. I'm just taking a moment and letting all of this solidify. If this guy turns out to be a racist piece of crap, we're going to go after him. That's what we do. And, I don't know. Just for some reason, I feel like maybe pausing is a better way to go.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with waiting until there is some documented evidence, which may actually exist. We just don't know. I mean, you have a number of employees in the article mentioned that, they felt afraid they were going to be blackballed from the sport and all of that. Well, if the NBA comes investigating, you're going to be more protected, and people are going to offer up whatever evidence that they have, and then we can make our determination then. It's not protecting Robert Sarver so much as it's protecting the fact that maybe Robert Sarver might not have done what he's accused of doing.
Yeah, he don't pay me a dime, so I don't give a crap. Big George says, "Hello, gentlemen. What a crazy Thursday. I think Sarver needs to go." You say that about everybody and everything all the time. Pump the brakes. He might be right, but pump the brakes. He says there are some serious and legitimate allegations. Well, again, as a lawyer, you should know better than saying stuff like that. Let's just give it a moment. You're probably right, but let's give it a moment. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, "Really trippy when you realize lots of NBA draft picks are born after 9/11.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Just the Tip says, "Keon, watch your step around those Gardner Minshew insults." Well, Randy's not with us today, so today's the day to do it if you're going to do it.
Yeah, and I didn't insult him. I just said he had his moment.
Where's he at now?
In Philadelphia, backing up
right.
Jalen Hurts.
That's right. Oh, they're going to need him. All right, let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and do our NFL fan pick'em picks. And where shall we start? Well, Seattle's not going to lose because they're not playing.
That's right.
Washington football team's not going to lose because they're not playing. The teams on a
Well,
bye
wait,
week: Detroit, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Washington.
we've lost the bye week before.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully we make it out unscathed this year.
All right, so let's go ahead and I don't think we have a recording from Randy or that I know of his pick. So unfortunately, we won't have that for you. But let's go ahead and start with tonight's game, Thursday night football. It's the Jets, who are 2-5, visiting the Colts, who are 3-5. So not too different in record. I would hope they are seen as very different in teams. So Keon, tell me why I can feel good about tonight's game, or should I feel bad?
No, I think you should feel good because Carson Wentz has played some pretty solid defenses, and yes, he's been a dumbass through the process of playing those teams. But the fact of the matter is,
of stupidity.
Yeah, he's playing a much weaker defense in the Jets that he should be. Even if he goes full Carson Wentz and gives you the full experience, there should still be enough big plays, enough positive plays there. Plus, the running game's been incredible. Plus, Michael Pittman's been awesome. I just don't see how the Colts don't make many more big plays than what the Jets are going to do.
All right. So you say Colts win.
Colts win.
All right, Ralph. I know it's going to pain you to say the Colts will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if you go with the Jets.
No, I would not go with it. I mean, you could borrow Geno Smith tonight if you wanted to. You could borrow Colt McCoy tonight if you wanted to, and you're going to win this game. The Jets are not a real football team. They're a joke. I think you win this game by 15, 20 points. I think it's going to be a blowout.
I hope so. I am picking the Colts to win, not just because that's the bet I have with little Bruce Jacobs. It's more just because I can't see them getting past the defense of the Colts. I know the secondary has been a little bit dinged here and there, but all the way around the ball, the Colts have it going on, except for upstairs in the cranium of Carson Wentz. And I feel like even if he screws up, the rest of the team itself is enough to overwhelm the Jets.
Yep, absolutely.
I hope. All right, let's move on to the next game. Let's talk about Sunday night football here on 1580 The Fanatic. It's the LA Rams hosting the Tennessee Titans. Now, you have an interest in this because you're in the division. Well, actually, you don't.
I absolutely do. It's
Well,
not over yet.
Now, when you think about it,
2 games out of the playoffs.
all right, but Russell Wilson is
He'll be
not coming back.
He's coming back
Couple
next week.
weeks.
Next week.
And I guess in a fight between you and San Francisco for last place, then now I guess you have an interest in the standings, but it's the Tennessee Titans without Derrick Henry. What do you think happens here in this game?
I think the game would have been a lot better with Derrick Henry, obviously, but I think the Rams at home, they win this game. They probably win it by a touchdown, take over the division this week. And the Rams are going to be tough going forward. They're starting to look really good. And the Rams are going to take it to Tennessee, I think.
I think you're right, except for I think it's going to be more than a touchdown.
I think so.
I do think so. I don't think the offense for the Titans is going to get going. Everybody's trying to play it up like, oh, now you get to see what Tannehill can do.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's not going to be enough because, again, the newly stacked Rams defense.
Yeah, Von Miller.
Yeah, it's not going to go well for them. Keon?
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams too. This game, I feel bad because it was one of those games I was really looking forward to. But
could have been good.
Yeah, without Derrick Henry, I don't know. Especially not because Ryan Tannehill's bad. It's not because this offense isn't good without Derrick Henry, but they built the entire offense around Derrick Henry. They constructed it to work off of that. And Ryan Tannehill has been top 5 quarterback in the league since the Titans added him and play action. Well, you don't have Derrick Henry. I don't understand how the play action is supposed to actually develop in your favor. I got to go Rams here just because of that. Like your offense, maybe they make some adjustments at some point, but you have to do trial and error and figure out what life after Derrick Henry looks like, because right now I just don't even know what that would be.
All right, so I think that another unanimous call. Eventually, we're going to disagree with each other.
I'm sure.
Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another mediocre teams with records. But I got to say, Pittsburgh Steelers will probably win this one. I know Bob Schwersky's not going to be happy with me on that, but the Bears coach stinks. Justin Fields, he's not consistent yet. I mean, I know that people are like, "Ooh, look at him! Little glimpses of greatness." I don't think he's fully formed. And the Pittsburgh offense trudging along, doing what needs to be done. I'm not going to say it's great, but I have a stronger feel for Pittsburgh on this game than I do for the Bears. Keon?
I'm going to go with the Bears. I thought the Steelers last week played as good a game as I've seen them play all year. They scored 15 points. It's just they've been so bad. Ben looks so old. Mike Tomlin is coaching them into victories. And I do like the improvements I've seen from Justin Fields. He does seem to have gotten a little bit better week after week, starting, with that awful performance where he just got sacked a billion times, but he's been doing a better job of avoiding that pressure. Do I think he's fully formed? I agree with you. He's not. He still has plenty of room to grow. But I do think that the Bears have, between, Justin Fields and his connection that's growing with Allen Robinson, enough there that they could outlast the Steelers, who are not good, but not bad. They're just sort of in that very 500 space.
Meh. Ralph?
Disagree totally. I'm not a big fan of Justin Fields. I said that last year as well. I just don't think he's what people think he is. That's just my opinion. I think you're going to see a savvy, old, slow veteran who's going to take the game into his hands and going to win. He's got a better team behind him, in my opinion. And I think the Steelers will win this game. I don't think it's going to be a great, outrageous, high-scoring game. But I think the Steelers are going to, they'll probably win like maybe a 14-10 game or something like that. But I think the Steelers win.
Yeah, and Bob Swirsky has now changed his prediction for tonight's game. Jets 28, Colts 17. I'm sorry, Bob.
Wow.
I am sorry. I wish your Bears were better. And yeah, I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
You're not.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see. Is this a lock? Is it a lock that the Chiefs beat the Packers? Aaron Rodgers got the vid. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes got a win, but he's still trying to shake out whatever the hell it is wrong with him. You saw him like trying so hard not to. Oh, here's the ball, guys. And he still was making mistakes even through that win. I don't know what the hell the Packers are going to be able to do with Jordan Love. I don't have a lot of confidence in Green Bay this week, even if they're 7-1. Kansas City is 4-4. I have a feeling that Kansas City is going to end up being 5-4 after this game. Ralph?
I've said it before. Something's wrong with Kansas City. We don't know what it is. I just don't like them. I don't think they're a very good team this year. They look like they're going to just have a horrendous down year. I hear that Rodgers is out. I was so impressed by Green Bay last week. I mean, with all the guys that they had missing and the way they played, was just so impressive.
Was Aaron Rodgers missing last week?
I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers was missing, but I mean, all the receivers were out. They had some defensive injuries. Now, are the receivers back?
Devontae Adams is going to play. He's back from the COVID. But who the hell's throwing to him, Ralph?
So I get it. Jordan Love is the quarterback. But you know what? I feel that team, they're kind of special. I'm not a Green Bay fan at all. But they look kind of special to me. And I think if they play
special as in short bus? Or
special as in they could be a team that could be there in the end. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, the way that they were gelling together, it's a true team. And I was really impressed with how they played. And I think they're going to find a way to win this game. I'm going to take the Packers in this game because I am not sold on Kansas City. They look terrible this year. And I think Green Bay has they got something going on in that locker room. And I don't care who the quarterback is this week. I think they have a shot.
All right. I say the only shot the Chiefs had to beat the Packers was no Aaron Rodgers. Can the Packers beat the Chiefs, Keon?
I don't feel confident about it. And I was never that high on Jordan Love, but I also think that Matt LaFleur is a fantastic coach. I don't think he's going to ask Jordan Love to do too much, ask him to do more than he can do. But if you're asking me straight up, Jordan Love in a duel with Patrick Mahomes, I don't care how bad Patrick Mahomes looks. He's the better quarterback. He's got the better team around him. And this is kind of the break that the Chiefs needed to try and help turn their season around. Is like, as long as they have a chance to be above 500, as long as that happens, they can continue to hammer out some of these issues. And, oh, look, Aaron Rodgers not vaccinated, gets himself taken out of this game. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I don't feel great about it. Yeah. I'll never feel great about picking the Chiefs ever again, but they are the better team here.
Let me just say this. Packers ain't nothing without Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
now I'm worried.
You're not wrong.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have some more picks for you. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Bruce Jacobs here asking, do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% off your monthly bill. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
To AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports. 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easy.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Time for some smart saving. Put money aside, not your child's future education.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. The sooner you start an AZ 529 education savings plan, the more money you'll have when your little one graduates high school. Invest just $15 a month and you could have thousands of dollars saved for their education needs. Go to az529.gov so when it's time to achieve their dreams, they can.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Don't be that guy.
Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's sports betting station, and got a big weekend ahead for you guys. That's right. On Friday, it's a special main event live from Phoenix Raceway from 1 to 3 p.m. Then, of course, during the Daily Blender, we'll have some live call-ins from the racetrack. And also then you've got the race setup with Randy White from 6 to 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, we've got the Arizona Lottery 100 live from the Raceway at noon. After that, a 2-hour race setup. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. After that, we got the NASCAR Cup Series pole qualifying event, and then the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. So then Sunday, another live race setup from the Phoenix Raceway, 10 a.m. to noon, followed by the big race. This is what it's all been leading up to, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship at Phoenix Raceway at noon here on 1580 The Fanatic. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I'm out of breath. I got to start working out. If nothing else, just to read stuff like that. I have a text message from Bruce Jacobs.
Oh,
which is amazing because he has a flip phone, and you got to know that if a guy like Bruce Jacobs texts in, he's sitting there having to hit every button like 2 or 3 times and is trying to get the letters right.
A, B, C. I mean, not B.
Well, he still screwed it up. He says, I'll take the bet, Jeffrey, at Chicken Colts fan. Jets 33, Cindy 21. That's the thing I was talking about. I think he meant to say Indy 21. He says, I don't need any of your dirty points. How did they become my dirty points?
He asked for the points.
Yeah, that's what a narcissist does. You and Aaron Rodgers. Anyway, he says, lunch, you in? And then afterwards, just like any good grandfather, from Bruce. Yeah, we know who you are. You're already in the system, Bruce. Do I have to eat lunch with him? That's the thing. If I win lunch, does he have to be there?
No.
He doesn't have to be there. No. I mean,
I actually beat him in a bet last year, and I never went to lunch with him. So.
All right, I'm fine. I'm in, Bruce. I'm in. All right, I'm in. Let's see what happens. You know, the funny thing is, it's a big deal to him. Listen, my Colts will probably win the game, and they'll probably end the season under 500. They'll still have a better record than the Jets. But for Bruce Jacobs, this just made this his Super Bowl. This is his big moment right now. It's like the whole thing with rivalries. One side doesn't know they're in a rivalry, but the other side is all like, ooh, that's what this is. So good luck to you, Bruce. The thing is, I don't know about this, to be honest. I feel like I should be confident, but there is a little part of me that's not. There's a little part of me that's not.
Well, I understand that because the Colts have done a combination of being a bad team, but also playing up and down to the level of competition. So they're perfectly capable of playing down to the Jets. They shouldn't. Like, you just look at it on paper, you look at the two rosters, you look at the point totals, you look at the offense, the yards per game. They shouldn't. And yet you still have that little lingering doubt.
It's that kind of year, though, Keon. It's that kind of year. All these things that shouldn't happen are happening, aren't they? All those things that you never imagined, the unimaginable. That's why they call it that.
And the Jets have been involved in two of those games.
Exactly.
Those are the two they won.
So, all right. I'm taking the bet because it's a straight up bet. And that's all there is to it. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get back to our picks here. Let's talk about the Houston Texans versus the Miami Dolphins in the uggiest of Ugg Bowls. That's right. They're both 1-7. Miami is the home team. I'll take them. That's all I got. That's all I got. So who do you got, Keon?
Oh, man. I actually am split on this one. I was going to just say Dolphins because I felt more confident in the Dolphins, but then the Texans said Tyrod Taylor's going to play. And that was the last time they looked any good, was when he was playing. I guess I guess Davis Mills had like a half where he looked good against the Panthers. But outside of that, they haven't looked good at all. And the Dolphins just keep finding ways to lose horrifically. But I'm going to go against that and still pick the Dolphins. I just think they're the more talented team, and they're just having one awful, awful year.
What do you say, Ralph?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Now, Taylor, if he does play, it makes it interesting. But yeah, I'm taking the home team, just like you.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
There's no story here.
None. None at all.
Yeah. I think this might be our worst Ugg Bowl.
Yeah, that is a bad Ugg Bowl. But, hey, listen, Detroit has the week off. So, what can you do? All right, next one up is the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Denver Broncos. Is Dak back? Dak thinks he's back. Jerry Jones wants him back. Is it more gamesmanship? And you're going to see him stretch out and then not play again. And then you got Cooper Rush, another first time, backup hero. I'm not really sure what to make of this, but like we did the last time, we can change our picks right up till game time. And this pick of mine is going to hinge on, is Dak back? Dak is back, taking the Cowboys. If he's not, got a lot of questions about who's quarterbacking for the Denver Broncos. Do we know who's starting for them?
I thought it was going to be Teddy Bridgewater. Is it
the fact we don't know tells you you still might want to take the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'm taking the Cowboys regardless. Dak or no Dak, because I just think that team is good enough that the way the Broncos have played lately, this team is much better than Denver is. And Cooper Rush, they didn't ask Cooper Rush to go out there and be Dak. They just asked him to go out there and manage the offense. And he showed he was capable of doing that. You give the ball to Zeke a bunch of times, and then anytime Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb are open off the play action fake, just throw it to him. It's a very simple thing they've asked him to do. He's competent enough to do it, and that defense has been still playing good football for the Cowboys.
There's one aspect I don't know, mostly because I don't think I've ever tortured myself to watch a Denver Broncos game. But how are they against the run? How are the Broncos against defending the run? Because it won't matter who the quarterback is for the Denver Broncos if you got Cooper Rush just not making mistakes and you got Ezekiel Elliott pounding the ball down their throats.
From what I've seen, I watched a couple of games that they're okay. They're not bad, but they're also not the stone wall. Like if Zeke wants to run the ball and that offensive line, which is getting healthier all the time, by the way, opens up some holes for him, Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a good day.
Yeah, and Robert Surprise reminds us, no Von Miller there either, so that's got to make it a lot easier for Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard to run that ball. So what do you say?
Yeah, I'm Dallas. I actually was impressed by Cooper Rush last week. I thought he threw some really nice passes. He looked like he was in control. I don't think he needs to do much, like Keon said, and I think Dallas wins this game.
All right, moving on to the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots and what I call the Even Steven Bowl. They're both 4-4. They're both unremarkable, and I don't know. I mean, Carolina's got a pretty good defense. The Patriots got Bill Belichick, and Mac Jones seems okay. What do you even do with this game, Ralph?
There's talk McCaffrey may come back for this game. They were going to talk about it and see if he comes back. I like their chances a lot better. I think Mac Jones has looked really decent so far this season.
I would be shocked if Christian McCaffrey plays.
Yeah,
because he's coming off the IR and they've got 21 days to get him back on that roster. Right. Would you rush it with him, especially now that he might be fragile?
At 4-4, I would not rush it.
No.
New England is they always find a way. It seems that Belichick, as much as I don't like him, he seems to put teams together that can find a way to win. I like Mac Jones. I'm gonna take the Patriots in this game. I think the Patriots win.
How about you? Are you going with the cheaters or are you going with the Panthers?
I'm going with the cheaters. They've got a tremendous defense. And especially when they play against bad teams, which they've had like half their schedule has been really bad teams.
Panthers defense ain't bad either, though.
Panthers defense isn't bad, but
like what you did there, I said ain't, and he said isn't. As like to try to shame me for using that grammar.
I'm not shaming you, but
you're that guy on the Twitter, aren't you?
My mom used to teach English. She'd be very disappointed in me. So here's the thing, though. These two defenses are both really good. No slouch defense for the Panthers either, but one team is playing Mac Jones and the other team is playing Sam Darnold, who's been atrocious for the last 4 weeks. He's just been a nightmare to watch. I had him in fantasy football. He got me some good games, and then he just fell entirely off a cliff. I don't know what happened to him. Just regressed back to the Sam Darnold that we all knew and loved before. Nightmare. There's no way that I take a Sam Darnold-led team without Christian McCaffrey there to help him.
All right. Well, yeah, we all got the cheaters then. I'm taking the cheaters. I can't help myself taking the cheaters. I hate that I have to take the cheaters. Now I'm checking my email real fast to see if Randy had emailed something in, but he didn't. So we're going to go ahead and go on without him on this one. This is the big game. The Arizona Cardinals trying to bounce back after last week's loss. They are heading to the San Francisco 49ers, Levi's Field. Is that what it is?
Levi's Stadium.
Yeah, whatever. And, well, presumably going to kick their asses. We're presuming that they will kick their asses, but we don't know about Kyler Murray. I don't know that they need Kyler Murray to kick the San Francisco 49ers asses. But I also don't think I've ever seen Colt McCoy play. I don't know what to make of this. What would you say, Keon?
I think that Colt McCoy can do just fine if he has to come in relief of Kyler Murray. He is a solid backup. He's been in this league for several years. knows how to get things done, but you'd rather have Kyler Murray out there. I just think their offense is more dynamic than San Francisco's, and it just comes down to that. I mean, the fact of the matter is San Francisco would love to run the football and then throw off of that play action fake, and they struggle to run the football.
Well, remember, AJ Green is out because of the COVID, so he won't be there to not catch the ball. Ralph, who you got in this one?
I got the Niners.
Of course
I have the Niners.
Of course you
It was
do.
a 17-10 game last time. I mean,
You
if we're-
can't ever just give the. I don't think you'll ever pick the Cardinals.
I've picked them this
He's
year.
picked them before.
Yeah. I just think they're going to lose. I think this is the second loss in a row, and I don't. This is my opinion.
If Kyler Murray plays, do you change your mind on that?
Probably yes.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's going to play. And if I were them, I would probably not play him.
You might be right on that too.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Arizona Cardinals. And of course, you guys know that Randy White, of course, is taking the Arizona Cardinals. And maybe he'll give you a pick and scream about that tomorrow. Right now, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got your fantasy football questions answered. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
You ever hear something on the radio and figure I got to give it a shot? Well, I did. This is Stephen McCollum, host of The Main Event here on The Fanatic. I heard all the ads for Valley Medical Weight Loss and thought, what have I got to lose? I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. Valley Medical is a true pioneer in the weight loss industry, supervised by board-certified physicians, helping you gain the edge in your weight loss battle, boosting your energy, and getting you real results. 3 Valley locations, so there's one near you. Visit valleymedicalweightloss.com for info, and when you go, mention The Fanatic or Money Radio and get your first week free.
When it comes to NASCAR, everything comes down to time. How fast can you get it done? Built, official partner and protein bar of NASCAR, is a tasty option when you're on the move. Hi, Randy here from the Race Setup. And if you have not tried a Built Bar, you are missing out. This protein bar does not taste like a protein bar. It tastes like a candy bar. Just grab a Built Bar when you want something fast and just so delicious. If you go to Built.com to get yourself some Built Bars, use code Randy10. You'll get 10% off your order. Code Randy10 at Built.com.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs, my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmbdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmbdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
People settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He ain't feeling well today. He'll be back tomorrow. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Keon in there pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I tell you, doing picks ain't the same without Randy White. Hopefully, he will still perform his epic Arizona Cardinals pick for everybody tomorrow on the show. But you all know where his heart is. And, I don't know. My wife doesn't like it when I pick the Cardinals. She worries I'm jinxing them. I was like, why is it me? Why me jinxing them? But for some reason, she loves it when Randy picks, but she hates it when I do. I don't even know what to think about that. But let's get caught up on the text line, 888-368-1580. Don't forget, we have sometime in the next 2 hours a pair of tickets to the ASU game this weekend. They're hosting USC. That's at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. I got a pair of tickets and a parking pass today. So be listening for your chance to
I'd like to call in and win those.
I was gonna say I can see that.
I'm an
SC
like, guy. I mean,
then I'm definitely not
having a
giving you
down
the tickets.
year. Having a down year or so would probably be a bad thing to go.
Yeah, you're gonna have another bad day if you
Yeah,
go watch them because
I
ASU
agree.
is gonna win that one.
Probably.
I hope. Again, I don't have any confidence being a Colts fan. All right, let's go ahead and get caught up here on the text line. King of Kittens says, I don't think Robert Sarver is racist, but I do think he's creepy, though. Well, it's one of those things where some of the stuff that's in that report, you could say that's just an idiot. It's not even a racist, but then there's stuff you see and you're like, oh, no, that's a racist. That's a racist. He wins the racist prize. If it's true, that's why, again, I hate getting into this, before we know for sure what the hell's going on. Mr. Pringle says, Jeffrey, if you had to choose a starting quarterback between Tannehill and Wentz, who are you taking? Well, I'd take Tannehill on the Colts. I'd take him on the
agree with
Colts
that, yeah.
because he would have the kind of team around him that would be really healthy for him. It's a different situation. Wentz does great, except for in pressure situations, which you need him to not be stupid. And that's the big complaint there. Tannehill's, he's kind of a robot, isn't he? He's a little bit of a robot.
Yeah, he does exactly what he's told to do in that offense and has no ego about it, which makes him an incredible teammate. But it also means that if they fall behind and they need him to go off script a little bit, he's not capable of doing that.
Right.
But that's okay for them because like when they're behind, as weird as it sounds, they love to run the ball. So they don't really ask Ryan Tannehill to do more than what he can do. And whenever he does exactly what they tell him to, it's been successful.
Licky Lips Johnson says, thanks for the tickets to the USC versus ASU game, guys. Unfortunately, I might have to give them away since I'm not going to be able to go. Oh, hey, Ralph, you want those tickets?
Not really. They're going to lose.
I guess, Licky Lips, you could try to transfer them back to me, and then I could give away another pair here. Just transfer them back to me. And I'll give him away on the air. Simple as that. Fed Fan says Jeffrey will change his pick to Green Bay when he reevaluates his picks. I bet I'm right about this. Where did my picks go? Where did I put them? Oh, you can't find them now. I hate Aaron Rodgers. I just don't want to.
Well, he's not playing, so
I know. I just don't ever. I don't want his team to win.
You're going to change.
Just don't have a lot of faith in that Jordan Love. I don't think he's all that in a bag of chips. I think the Green Bay Packers made a huge mistake in doing what they did to Aaron Rodgers and banking on him. Any time you've seen him in a practice, in a pregame, in any situation, you're like, well, was that worth it? No.
Yeah,
it's not.
like he's looked okay. Like when he played in the preseason, he looked all right. But that was a first rounder.
Everybody looks good in the preseason.
I said he looked okay.
Just saying.
And that was a first rounder. I think if you got a guy in a preseason who's in year 2 and he's playing in the preseason, he should look excellent. He shouldn't look okay. He should look better than okay.
Blissful Hayes says, what time is the main event on tomorrow? Well, it's on tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's on from 1 to 3 p.m. Senior Wake and Bake says, Jeffrey, did you pick up that Colts gear from Goodwill? Just asking, because there's better stuff to shop for, so you know. Well, first off, this button-up shirt here, that was a gift from my kids, you jackass. This is just a standard Colts hat that I've had, and then this t-shirt here was a Christmas present from a guy over at Money Radio. So all of this, nice. And then the watch was also a gift from the family. So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. You mean better stuff for the Colts at Goodwill, or you just mean that you hate the way I look? I think it just means he hates the way I look. Yeah. Good Cat says, just remind that old man Bruce Jacobs about the butt fumble. Not even a need a controversial call on this one. I'm pretty sure the Colts will take it. Yeah. Mars 805 says, happy Thirsty Thursday, guys. And what's going with SC at ASU tickets with the parking? What? He says, go Lakers. And I'll take an 805, please. Good luck with the bet tonight, Jeffrey. I'm playing for the $1,580 myself, and I want a jersey. Go Raiders. See, Mars 805 is a flow of consciousness every day in one text.
Wow.
He does like 3 texts all at once, and they just sort of flow one into the other.
Gets it all in there.
Yeah, what should be 3 texts ends up being 1. Mr. Wilbur says, dogs and cats living together. It's mass hysteria. University of Arizona beating Tempe in football this year. And yes, this will be a strange year. Not that strange. The strangeness will be if they win, if your Arizona Chalupas win 1 game.
Yeah,
that would be the strange year. There's no way in hell you're going to beat ASU. Period.
You never know.
No, I'll call that one.
Rivalry games are something else.
I hear you, but I'm not as confident about my Colts, but I am confident that Arizona State University can never lower itself to sucking at the level that Arizona does.
They haven't won a game this year, and the one game
they haven't won a game in 21 tries.
This is true.
So they also didn't win.
Well, they're due.
No. Yeah, like I say, if Bishop Sycamore plays them, they've got a chance. That's it.
They were due last week. That was their best game that they could have possibly played, and they still lost.
Yeah.
Massive lead. Just blew the whole thing.
And rivalries, you just never know, though. I've seen it. You just never. I agree with you 100%.
Did you watch last year? Remember 70-7?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Just saying.
I do. I get it.
And that team was better than the team this year. It was 70-7 last year. I'm hoping for 100-7. and they'll do it too. Bruno Baller says the Jets are not going to win many games this year, and seeing as how they're coming off a win, I like the Colts' chances tonight. Jeffrey, you said the Bears hosted the Steelers. The game's actually in Pittsburgh. Did I say host? Sorry about that. He says, by the way, how old was Bruce Jacobs last time the Jets won the Super Bowl with Joe Namath? Ralph won't pick the Cardinals to win, just like Randy will never pick the Cardinals to lose. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. It does feel that. But I've seen Ralph pick the Seattle Seahawks to lose.
I have, and I picked the Cardinals to win.
So there you go, Bruno Baller. Big George says, Ralph is such a hater of the Arizona Cardinals. Funny how he disappeared for a whole month when the Seahawks were losing. Cardinals can beat the 49ers in their sleep, Ralph.
17-10 last time. We'll see what happens.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, Niners are going to win this one. They're going to learn from Green Bay and pound the Cards' interior defense and run the Jimmy G and will dominate them as usual. Okay. Moist One says, because Randy's a real man. I don't know why. Robert Surprise says, how about the Raiders? I predict that they will win the division. Let me think about this.
I don't know about that
division. You got the Chargers and the Chiefs. Yeah, you know what? Raiders and the Chargers will probably that'll be an interesting race. I can't say absolutely wrong. I can't say he's wrong. It is a very good chance that the Raiders could win that division.
It's possible. It's just that in a year where you lost your coach and now you've got the Henry Ruggs thing that's floating around in your whole organization.
They're 5-2.
Yeah, we'll see how this situation with Ruggs
wasn't doing great. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I mean, he's a deep threat. So his job is to mostly like occupy the
was he doing all right? For some reason, I thought he wasn't having that great a year.
He was doing pretty well. I mean, every game he had at least a touchdown where he just was faster than the entire defense. But even without that, it's just like, what does that do to a locker room when you have a guy have a DUI and kill somebody? Like that's got to do something to your psyche.
I agree.
Maybe you pull together, but maybe
didn't hurt the Ravens. I mean, anyway. So yeah, I'd say you got to get through those Chargers there, Robert, and Surprise, but I'd say you got a pretty good shot. Ukla the Mock says, haha, Ralph, an SC guy. How did you like my Irish beatdown, son?
Again, SC is not a good team this year. So yeah, it was good for you. I mean,
The Berg says, afternoon, guys. Sell the team, Ralph.
sell the team.
Evidently he thinks you own the Suns now.
The Suns?
Yeah.
If I owned them, they'd probably be better.
Yeah.
But-
What would you do different?
I'd move them from Phoenix.
Oh, shut up. You're a bad person. Ralph's wife says,
No. Let's go move on.
let Ralphie know he was actually behaved himself today and didn't talk smack about me. Tell him I will take the Just for Men out of the hiding place as his reward.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. She's funny. Mr. Pringle says, so if the Titans and the Colts were to swap quarterbacks, do they swap spots in the standings?
No.
Maybe. Well, the Titans are 6-2, and the Colts are garbage. 3-5. So
4 and 5.
well, I'm not the right person to ask, and Ralph is a hater because it's a word. Keon, what do you say to what Mr. Pringle says?
I mean, you probably don't, just because one team is relying on their running back. So like you have Carson Wentz in that offense. Sure, maybe Carson Wentz is going to throw some more stupid passes, but they're still going to rely on Derrick Henry offensively. Like that's what their deal is. So
right.
I don't think that changes enough.
You know, the Colts have a pretty damn good running back who happened to be the AFC player of the month.
Jonathan Taylor's been awesome.
So
just Derrick Henry is the best running back in football when he's healthy.
I'm going to say yes, Mr. Pringle. Random texter says ASU lost to Washington State. It's possible for them to lose to the University of Chalupa. No,
Washington State is a much better football team though than U of A.
I didn't Washington State whoop the ass out of University of Arizona too. I think they did.
I believe they did. Yeah.
Booger Wolf says Robert Sarver, the career carver. Yeah. Remember that guy tried to backtrack calling some basketball players a bunch of thugs. And then he said oh no, I called you slugs. Okay. He says, I've seen Wake and Bake walking into a Goodwill once. He had to go take back the Jake Plummer jersey he stole. So I got texters attacking each other. Fed fan says, yeah, Ralph hates all Arizona teams. Is that why he's on the show? Why is he on the show? Shooter McGavin says the Titans were down 14-0, and Henry only had 68 yards rushing against the Colts. And you say Tannehill can't come from behind, Keon?
I said he can. It's just when they're behind, they would rather go with Derrick Henry, which they've done. That's what they did in Seattle. They were behind. They just kept giving him the rock.
Yeah.
It's not that he can't. It's that they would rather do it that way.
Please don't bring my Colts into this. Bruno Baller says Ralph won't pick the Cardinals to win, just like Randy never picked the Cardinals to lose. It's true. I think I read that one too. Just the Tip says, to be fair, the magnitude of accusations against Sarver does require time to get all the facts out because there's such a difference in the retribution. Might be a slap on the wrist or the Donald Sterling penalty. Yeah, there's so much to unpack here. And each one of these things, you're like, all right, where is the validity? Where is the credibility? Because any one of those things might be enough. We just got to make sure it's all the real deal. Senior Wake and Bake says, Ralph, maybe help Gino pick steaks or pizza, not football. Senior Wake and Bake, you understand the nature of his name.
Yeah, and I can hear it in his text.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And we're 6 minutes from a certain time of the day.
Yeah.
Where he is
No. He doesn't wait. Senior Wake and Bake says 420 somewhere, man. And then he says, oh, and yeah, I was returning that Jake Plummer jersey for your mom. Oh, that was Senior Wake and Bake. Yes. Good Cat says, my mild kitties lost to freaking NAU. There's no way they're going to beat the Sun Devils. And I'm pretty sure Bruce Jacobs was 72 years old the last time the Jets won the Super Bowl. Bruno Baller says, from the 1981-1982 NFL season all the way through the 1996-97 NFL season, only one AFC team won a Super Bowl. Name that tune. Well, I'm thinking he's going to say it's the Raiders.
Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the Raiders with the Howie Long on there and Lyle Alzado. That's my guess. Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not one of those sports talk show host guys that is like nerding out on all the little stats and stuff. So, but that's my best guess. What do you got? What do you think?
I kind of agree. That sounds right anyway.
I think Keon is just shocked that I came up with it that fast. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's all right.
Blissful A says, can Carson Wentz throw 3 picks tonight to lead the Colts to another loss? You bet he can. Hamilton Porter says, Jeffrey, did I already miss a retort to Bruce from this morning? I don't even care. Was my retort. Bruce texted in and said he'd take the bet with no points. We'll see what happens. He's going to be a sore winner. He's going to be a sore loser, no matter what it is. I don't care. Let's see. Mr. Pringle says, I read that hit piece by Baxter Holmes on Sarver. So many accusations from so many people that would not put their names to the accusations. That was some pathetic reporting. Typical 4-letter network reporting. You know, I kind of feel like you probably wanted to get more names on that. But then there's the other part, though. You know, some of your sources may not want to take the heat from Sarver and his legal team, if these allegations are true. So I can kind of see both sides of that. But again, yeah, as far as reporting goes, would be better if they had some more facts to go with the story. Yep. You know, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying you're right. There's only a couple names that are actually on this.
Yeah, it's a lot of anonymity. And I understand that. Like in this case, you're talking to a lot of, mid-level, lower level employees who, if they were to lose their jobs, would be hard for them to find another way to land on their feet. So obviously they're going to want to keep their name out of it, but it makes it harder to say for sure.
I highlighted one thing. I was reading the story and it said 70 current and former Suns employees. And all I could think is whether Sarver is a racist or not. We know he's a micromanager. And we know, he's a wild card kind of person. He sees in that story 70 current. There is going to be a witch hunt in the Suns organization like nothing you have ever seen before. People are probably scared bleepless right now for their jobs because even people who haven't said anything to anybody are probably like, oh God, they're going to ask me things and there's going to be things and it's going to be crazy in the Suns organization because even if he's not racist, he definitely is some other things and it's going to be miserable in the hallways of that organization.
You think he survives it regardless?
Sarver?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what's true.
Yeah.
Or what we can prove to be true.
And the names don't even have to be given to us.
Right.
The names have to be given to one man. And that is a turtle without a shell, Adam Silver.
Without a shell.
Well, that's what he looks like to me. When Adam Silver gets the information and has some conversations in confidentiality, he can then come up with a report that protects those people. And, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. That's the thing. That one of the reasons I also am pausing a little bit before we go crazy on this is we don't know that these are facts. But the other part is, unlike the NFL, I have faith that Adam Silver and the NBA will do the right thing. They haven't given me a reason not to yet.
Right.
I mean, the Donald Sterling thing went a long way
Yeah.
to going, the moment that we detect that there's a guy who is doing or saying things he shouldn't do, we'll act quickly. We're not going to make
4
excuses
days.
about it.
It only took him 4 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's an unreal amount of time. And there were owners that were opposed to the idea of pushing a guy out the league, and he got them all to buy in.
Yep.
The NFL works the opposite way.
Yes, it's a far superior run organization than the NFL. Hamilton Porter says, who looks more like an alien, Adam Silver or Reggie Miller? Ooh. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
Playing days, Reggie Miller was even skinnier than he is now.
His eyes were more sunken in and those ears protruded. A good gust of wind. He was taking flight.
I think Silver
now. I think Reggie's grown into himself a little more.
Yeah.
Silver's older and he's always going to look that way.
When Reggie Miller was playing, I've heard him described as Mr. Potato Head on a stick. So
That's good.
I always thought he looked like one of them Ferengi guys from the Star Trek.
Oh my God.
That's
I'll never unsee that now.
So I'm saying. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have, it's time for fantasy football questions. That's right. CJ Kaltenbach is going to join us. The Siege. Get your questions ready to go. Text them in 888-368-1580. Let's get you ready for week 9 in the NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Brandon Gaudin and Tony Baselli here from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football. AFC action coming up from Indianapolis when the Colts host the New York Jets. Tony, two interesting teams matched up to start week 9.
Brandon, the Jets got their second win this past weekend with a big upset win over the Bengals. And Mike White, the backup quarterback, was dominant, 405 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. They go to see the Colts this weekend, who are reeling and frustrated after a tough overtime loss to the Tennessee Titans in a game that Carson Wentz threw 2 late critical interceptions.
All right, Tony, with 2 division losses to the Titans already this year, this truly is a must-win game for the Colts if they want to keep any postseason hopes alive. Join us for the Jets at the Colts on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Experienced staff at local branches and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easy.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Providing you with the latest sports news, commentary, and analysis.
My youngest daughter got engaged to her longtime boyfriend. She answered all the questions correct. The one question I always like to ask is, why do you love my dog? You know that feeling when you misplace something and you can't find something and you just get that feeling in your stomach it's an important thing. And that's how I feel when I'm not around your dog.
Wow, Dale. You shut me down.
Jacobs and Helly on Arizona's new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's sports betting station. Don't forget, we got all kinds of NFL for you. I know we've got NASCAR Cup Series Championship weekend going on, but we still got the NFL. On Sunday night, we got Titans at Rams, and on Monday Night Football, it's the Bears at the Steelers. And I'll tell you what, Bob Schwersky, I'll be hoping the Bears win because I don't like Ben Roethlisberger. I don't care for him, and I like Mike Tomlin and all, but I just don't care about the Steelers. So I'll root for your team, but at this moment, I just can't seem to pick them. All right, yes, those are the games. Of course, tonight we've got the Jets at Colts. Hopefully, that'll be a beat down for the ages. In the meantime, right now it's time to get those fantasy football questions answered. The Siege, CJ Kaltenbach is with us. He's from Fantasy Guru and EliteFantasy.com. And hey, Siege, how's it going in the world? Is it weird to have a extra week of fantasy football for you? Does that mess with your strategy? Does it help your strategy? How are you treating this year different?
I don't know. So like treating it the same this year, I guess next year I can figure out.
Did you guys change when you're going to have your playoffs, or Is that still on the same trajectory?
No, we pushed it all back a week, so it's 16, 17, and 18 instead of 15, 6, instead of 14, 15, 16 like it was last year.
All right. So you like that stumble into problems, meaning, oh no, somebody might be arresting that player or this or that. You like that. You like those uphill battles, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we don't use the last week of the season, but we use the 2 weeks before. Teams don't normally rest guys 2 weeks in the NFL, but maybe that will change this year. Who knows?
You never know. All right, so I want to talk to you about something. Have you ever seen a league where the bottom 7 teams were all 3-5? Have you ever seen anything like that?
I have a league that I think is the worst team is 3-5 as well, and I think the best team is like 6-2.
Okay, the best team in the Premier League is undefeated, but the bottom 7 teams are 3-5, all of them. And I've never seen where 7 teams have the same horrible record. I mean, that's got to be like a fluke of nature. Yeah, there's no way you've ever seen that before.
No, I can't say I've seen that with a 9-0 team for sure. That's pretty weird.
My point is, it's a weird season, CJ. It's a weird season. Are you noticing that yourself? Is it just kind of like one of these kind of weird seasons where anything can go, or you think this maybe just feels that way because we're in it?
I think it feels that way because we're in it. I think there's been an unproportional amount of injuries that have affected my teams this year, but last year, was a pretty smooth year. I didn't have a whole ton. So this year, it's, one thing after another to a lot of my key guys, but that's all right. Fight through.
All right. Well, you ready to start answering some questions? Here's another really kind of cool thing. Screaming Eagle had never played fantasy football before, and it was a while before he won a game. But this last week, out of 10 Daily Blender fantasy football leagues, he not only won, he had the highest score of any team of all the leagues. And of course, he's always first in line to ask you the questions. He says, CJ, would you start the LA Rams or the New England Patriots defense?
Oh, good question. Let's go with both pretty good options. Think I would start the Rams, but pretty close.
All right. He also wants to know Dak Prescott or Matthew Stafford?
Dak Prescott. Looks all good to go. I would roll out Dak with confidence.
Really? Dak coming off an injury, and Stafford's been kind of killing it, hasn't he? Or has he been throwing some interceptions or something? I mean, I'm kind of confused by that.
Stafford's great, but the rushing floor that Dak provides is just always better to have. We have 2 stud guys. I'll take the guy with the rushing floor.
Fair enough. Random texter says, which of these 2 of these 3 players have the best possibility for a breakout second half of the season? Van Jefferson from the Rams, Bateman from the Ravens, or Gordon from the Chiefs?
Bateman. I think Van Jefferson's solid. I don't think Josh Gordon's going to break out at all. I think he's just kind of a rotational player at this point. But Bateman should have a big second half. Coming off the bye week, finally healthy, he should have he probably starts off this week with the big second half.
Yeah, and this guy has had to go through a lot of adversity. With the last name Bateman, in college, everybody called him Master Bateman. And that is hard. That is hard. So then Jefferson and Bateman, not so much Gordon. Senior Wake and Bake says, tough fog, rich God. Dude, you take your finger off the text button. You didn't text anything. FAB says, hey, Siege, my fantasy football season equals sad. That is all. Just the Tip says, Siege, which one of these 3 should I play? David Johnson, DeErnest Johnson, or anyone else off the waiver wire?
Anyone else off the waiver wire.
Good Cat says, is Devontae Adams worth a start this soon after the COVID thing?
Yeah, I think he's fine. Jordan Love will look his way.
All right. You have any confidence in Jordan Love?
Enough to start Devontae Adams. That's about all I've got. And the Chiefs defense is bad. So we'll see how it looks.
So now the Good Cat has some more questions. I'll get to that in a second. But I also have Devontae Adams, and I'm a little worried about starting him myself. My options are Kenny Galladay, Jarvis Landry, Emmanuel Sanders, and Sadness also.
Start your studs.
All right. Good Cat also says, I have Renfro, Beasley, and Devontae Smith. Still start the stud.
Start your studs.
There you go. Ukla Mock says, Josh Jacobs or Mark Andrews in my flex?
Mark Andrews.
Silly Wabbit says, Gaskin or Edmonds?
Oh, boy, that's tough. Edmonds has a good matchup, but it sure looks like they're going to be without Kyler and Hopkins this weekend. Ooh. Let's go with Gaskin, I guess.
All right. Also wants to know Baltimore defense or the Cincinnati defense?
Baltimore.
All right. Ralph is here. Ralph had the first pick in the draft in the Blender Premier League. He's now 3-5. He has a question for you.
Well, to be fair, my first pick was McCaffrey, and he's been out a lot. So anyway,
hey, you got him back now. Time to make a run.
Is he back this week?
Sure looks like it.
Really? Well, that's interesting. That changes my question because I've been going with Melvin Gordon and Williams from KC, and I picked up McNichols from Tennessee. Who would you start of those three? If McCaffrey's back, out of those three, who else would you start?
I would start Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams.
I'm not too worried about the Derek Gore thing. It really wasn't much of a thing in the second half. I think Darrell Williams is fine.
One other question. How about at tight end, I have Ertz and I have Gronk.
I think you have to start Gronk if he plays, but the back tightness last week, not great. Wait a minute, Gronk's on bye.
Is he? That's right. He is on bye.
Start Gronk.
I'm starting Gronk then because I can't stand Ertz. He's a Cardinal. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, brother. All right. So, hey, I got some more for you there. I had a tight end question. Jared Cook or Dawson Knox?
Knox if he plays.
Yeah. So even coming off an injury, you would take Dawson Knox over Jared Cook, even though Cook is up against an easy Philadelphia Eagles defense. Well, I guess Jacksonville. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Aren't you worried about that was a broken bone in his hand, wasn't it?
If he plays, though, he's fine. Teams aren't going to, especially teams like the Bills, aren't going to roll out guys that aren't healthy and ready to go.
I've been hurt, CJ. I've been hurt. Team doctors can't be trusted. I can sit on this awkward silence as long as you can.
I was just answering your question. If you don't, I was told if you have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Wow.
So tell me, Justin Herbert, can he be trusted this week?
Yeah, that matchup against the Patriots was kind of a worst case scenario matchup for him. I'm not worried. I'd start him with confidence.
All right. Wing Guru says, who at quarterback, Tannehill or Cousins?
Tannehill.
Well, you said that with so much pain.
I just don't know what that offense is going to look like without Derrick Henry. I expect everyone's going to be worse. I just don't know how much worse are they going to be.
All right. Wing Guru, thank you for that. Booger Wolf says they kicked senior Tugga Snake off the Love Boat for being the world's best hater. Okay, I don't know what we were talking about there. Fifth Letter says, do I trade DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin for Saquon Barkley and Tyler Lockett?
No.
Mr. Pringle.
I don't trust Saquon's health one iota.
Fair enough. Mr. Pringle says, we're not talking about music right now, Mr. Pringle. Harley's Hammer says, at tight end, who do I start? Knox or Uzoma or Kittle?
Knox.
Do you like Knox? Okay.
I don't think Kittle's playing this week.
Right. So he's still in. How long is it going to be till he comes back? Oh, he seems like he's been injured forever.
Yeah, I think it's one more week. I haven't heard anything on Kittle, but that doesn't mean I prepared not to play him.
Good Cat says, what Amari Cooper with his hamstring injury? I think he says, what's up with Amari Cooper's hamstring injury?
Should be fine. Came back into the game, but probably would expect like 80% of normal Amari Cooper, but should play.
Hey, Keon, you got any? You're 3-5 too. Yeah,
I am 3-5, one of the 7. So, yeah, it's the question of the unholy trinity of guys who are just killing me every time I start one. The other one, it's like whack-a-mole. One of them just does well, the other ones
you always
don't.
pick the wrong guy, huh?
Every single week. So I've got Devontae Parker, I've got Brandon Ayuk, and Laviska Shenault. Who should I start? I'm just worried and anxious every single time I look at the 3 of them.
I would just start Ayuk. I think his target share is going up. Good matchup against the Cardinals, who are going to start Colt McCoy this weekend. So should be playing from in front with the football a lot.
Is that the official word? Colt McCoy will start and Kyler Murray's not going to play?
I'd be very surprised if Colt McCoy's not starting this weekend.
Gotcha. Well, how do you feel about Mike White's chances in this game tonight against the Colts?
Well, 60% of the general public is betting on the Jets. I can't imagine how that goes wrong.
Yeah, that's going to go wrong. There's no way the Jets are going to win. There's no way.
I think the Colts win by 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Senior Wake and Bake says, sorry for the pocket text there. Yeah, it's all right, man. Double K says, Taysom Hill, a good streamer at quarterback this week if your main quarterback's on the bye?
Yes. Again, any of those quarterbacks that have rushing upside. So Taysom Hill, Tua, Tyrod Taylor, all are acceptable options on the bye week.
Trust the Tip says, Siege, who would you pick up right now to be my flex player? Injuries are killing me. I got a big bag of jocks to play in that position right now. No idea what that means, really. Do you know what that means?
So just like a general flex guy, Zach Pascal, if he's available, wide receiver 2 against the Jets tonight. McNichols, if he wasn't picked up already, I assume he was. Rondale Moore, I assume he's probably owned, but just in case he's not, no AJ Green this weekend. Those are the ones that pop to mind. If you're looking for something kind of a little more desperate, Scotty Phillips of the Texans, I suspect we'll be talking about him prominently next week, but he's been getting more and more work there for the Texans.
Harry Soap says Josh Jacobs or Chase Edmonds?
Chase Edmonds.
Swave Dave says, CJ, should I play the Cardinals or the Colts defense this week?
Colts.
What about
Cardinals are going to get crushed this week. Just fair warning, guys.
So then if you had the choice between the Cardinals defense and the Carolina Panthers defense, you take the Panthers defense.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be thrilled about it.
I probably won't be. Let's see. Silly Wabbit says Tua or Big Ben?
Tua. Take the rushing floor.
And Moist One says, I traded Ruggs and Odell 3 weeks ago for Latavius Murray and Mike Gesicki because I was hurting for running back. But I really just wanted to brag. Sorry, Keon. Was that you? Was that your trade? Did you trade Moist One for Ruggs and Odell?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't Odell. I was more interested in Ruggs. And then, of course, all the things happened with Ruggs that
makes sense.
happened with Ruggs.
Hang in there on Odell. He might end up somewhere nice by next week.
How does that happen? I mean, they'd have to cut
They're going to cut him.
They have to cut him. And then don't they have don't they have to pay him too?
Yeah, but they're going to have to pay him just to send him home in either way.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Wow. What a mess. What was that all really about? It wasn't all about Dad's video. There had to be more to it than just that.
I think they were frustrated that he basically was trying to do anything he could to get out of town.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. It's the Siege. CJ Kaltenbach from Fantasy Guru and EliteFantasy.com. If anybody has any more questions or just want to give you a hard time, where do they find you on the Twitter?
At the Siege DFS.
There you go. At the Siege DFS on the Twitterverse. You can also find it because we put his Twitter handle there on the preview for the show. Siege, have a great week. We'll see you next time, man.
All right, guys. Good luck, and hopefully some of you guys aren't 3-5 next week. All right.
We'll probably all still be 3-5. It'll be that kind of miracle. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention the Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easy.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Every year, millions of men, women, and children are sex trafficked worldwide, including right here in your own backyard. Victims can be of any socioeconomic background, age, race, gender, or nationality. Traffickers take advantage of individuals who are susceptible for a variety of reasons: violence, manipulation, or false promises of providing shelter and food. Well-paying jobs or romantic relationships are the tactics used to lure victims into trafficking situations. This can happen in any community. CC's Hope Center's mission is to improve the life and future of young women ages 18 to 24 who are at risk or victims of human trafficking and sexual exploitation. Attend the November 9th, 2021 Night of Light event and learn more about the issue while supporting this worthy cause. CC's Hope Center is a nonprofit 501c3 and an Arizona qualified charitable organization. You can receive an Arizona tax credit for your donation. For more information, go to ccscenter.org. That's CECEScenter.org or call 480-465-7044.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, Licky Lips Johnson just sent me over a graphic. Dude, I can Photoshop too, so I don't know how much I'd put into that, but he sent over a picture that said trending. According to sources, the Raiders and Saints have expressed interest in Odell Beckham Jr. Okay. Who's that from? Where are you seeing that? I haven't seen that anywhere. Is there any word on the street? What does that even mean? Have they cut him yet? Because it doesn't even matter who's interested unless they cut him. The trade deadline is come and gone, guys. So it might be wishful thinking on the on the side of a Raiders fan. But what do you got, Keon?
Well, no cutting news yet, but he has been dismissed from practice for the second straight day.
Yeah, they said he was invited to not be there. So I think that was the nicest way of putting it. So, when something happens to Odell, are you really that excited about Odell Beckham Jr.? Would you want him on your team? Of course you would, because your team's horrible. I'm pointing at Keon.
For me, what I really want on my team is a quarterback. I'm desperate for any one of those.
True.
At wide receiver, I feel like Washington's okay, and I think okay enough to not go after a guy that's clearly a head case at the very least, and at the most, possibly bonkers.
Yeah. I like how you've got bonkers is worse than head case.
I mean, because the head case is just
I think bonkers is adorable. I think head case is a problem. I think you got it backwards.
I don't know. Bonkers to me has always meant like just full on crazy. And if you're a head case, you're a malcontent, you're a problem, but you're not, you're not nuts. Just like you haven't completely lost it.
I don't know if I agree with your assessment range of mental illness, but you're not wrong.
I'm not a professional.
You're not wrong. I don't know. Would you want him on the Seahawks?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Don't need him.
You can catch with one hand. Have you seen that?
Yeah, once. Don't need him.
Once.
His time has passed.
Yeah, the Colts, I could use his talent because T.Y. Hilton is at the end, and there's a lot of young, good talent coming up. But he's a culture killer. He is a locker room cancer.
Yep.
Depends on your coach. Like if he goes to somewhere where there's like a Belichick or a Sean Payton, okay, I can like those coaches. Their personalities are strong enough.
Bruce Arians. He took on Antonio Brown. He can handle Odell.
Yeah. And maybe there is something there because Antonio Brown's been injured lately. But outside of that, no, I wouldn't want him in my organization if I had a new coach or a young coach. There's just too much of a problem there. Too much of a headache.
Licky Lips Johnson, you can pin that to your what would they call that? What do the girls call that? Their
hope chest?
Well, no, that's where they put stuff in, but their vision board. Their vision board. You just put that there and the universe will make it happen for you. Because that's all that is. Big Stanky says, afternoon, guys. Just got off work. I hope you're having a good day. Well, I am now. I hope I will be in about half an hour. And then I hope I will still be in about 2 or 3 hours, depending on what happens with my Colts. Depending on what happens.
That is fair.
Robert Surprise says, yeah, the Raiders will take him. Moist One says, I'd gladly take Odell on the Hawks. They said they were going to get Russ another weapon, and they got Gerald Everett.
And he's not been bad. So
I guess Seattle fans will now argue with each other about this.
We can. We just need to get Russ back and we'll be fine.
It's all that matters.
It's really all that does matter. We've got DK. We don't need Odell.
Fighting Wampa says Terrell Owens was a head case. Ray Caruth, bonkers.
I agree with that.
Senior Wake and Bake says, Keon, I spotted a Washington jersey at the Goodwill. It was deep in a garbage can, but it's still a jersey.
Well, if it was in the garbage can, no, thank you. Who's what number was it? Whose jersey was it?
Fed Fan says vision board. I've never even heard of a vision board. Well, you haven't hang out with the same kind of girls as I guess I have. Big George says after today's Thursday night game, the Daily Blender won't get preempted anymore for Thursday night football since the clock changes everywhere this weekend. Yep, next Thursday's game will start at 6:20 p.m. Well, the Blender's over at 6, so that's it. That's it. Yeah, this is our last day of leisure, I guess. We will have to be on the air for 3 full hours each and every day, except for Mondays, because Monday Night Football broadcast starts at 5:30 starting next week. So, oh well, so it was nice while it lasted.
It was a good run.
Yeah.
It was a good run.
Oh, hey, in my head, I was telling Ralph, I'm already in next week. And I was like, hey, let's give away these tickets in the 5 o'clock hour. Remember when I said that to you? I said, hey, Keon, make sure to remind me to give away the tickets in the 5 o'clock hour. And I even said, don't remind me at 5:54. I want to just make sure I remember to do this. And you're like, I'm on it. And then just moments ago, I realized we're not on in the 5 o'clock hour.
That's true.
I need you to remind me to give away these tickets before the end of this hour.
I mean,
which is
what
we are in the last segment of the show. So I mean,
well, there's no surprise if I just do it now.
Right. Okay.
So, all right, fine. We'll do it now. But what caller? Ralph, what caller?
3.
All right. But we always do 3.
Okay. 6.
Caller number 6, Keon. Caller 6, 888-368-1580. It's a pair of tickets plus a parking pass to see Arizona State University hosting USC at 7:30 p.m. this Saturday. And, you know what? I don't know if those other tickets got transferred back to me or not yet, but I might be able to throw those out there too. Let me see here. Checking my email.
The caller needs to say fight on.
No, he doesn't. Definitely will not get the tickets if they say fight on.
Fight on. You get the ticket.
Yeah.
All of them.
ASU, go ASU is all you need to say. Caller 6, Keon is going through the calls now. So if you get a busy signal, try again, 888-368-1580. So as he's dealing with that, I'm going to say that King of Kittens says, go Devils, go. I can't sing it the same way. I don't have that range.
No.
Screaming Eagle says, Jeffrey, did you make a bet with Bruce Jacobs? Yeah, he finally came crawling around and said he'd just go ahead and do a straight up bet. So yes, now we do have a lunch bet. But I guarantee you he's going to try to weasel out of what kind of lunch it'll be when the Colts win. I feel like I'll get a Lunchable sitting on my desk when I come in. Which I'm all right with. I'm all right with that.
Classic,
yeah, I mean, that's fair, whatever. Fed Fan says, I'm visioning not punching Jeffrey right now. It's not how it works, Fed Fan. You get a picture of something you want out of life and you pin it to your vision board and you put little notes and affirmations on there and all the things you want in life. And it's like a hope chest of your mind. And so if you want to put a picture of not punching me, I appreciate it. Ookla says, yay, 4th hour of the blender. It's not going to happen, Ookla. It's not going to happen. Yes, Big George, getting to it. Let's see here. 6679 says, off limits text, I guess. Love your show. You and Randy White are amazing. But Phil was funnier than Keon. I like Keon, but Phil was funnier. Wow. It's not everybody's role to be funny. It's just, Keon is, and Keon's pretty funny. You give him a minute. Give him a minute, 6679. Let's see. No, your text before wasn't, it wasn't out of limits. It was just sort of out of conversation. What he said earlier was, why hasn't Robert Kraft been canceled by the NFL? Obviously, words speak louder than actions, according to NFL policy. Got to remember, we're talking about two different things. The NBA handles their business. The NFL sweeps everything they possibly can under the rug. Watch them do that with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers lied. He was out and about. It wasn't like, well, he lied to the media. Well, fake news. We don't like the media. Okay, fine. Forget that. But what about the fact that he lied to his job? He lied and was in situations. And you're going to say, well, it's no big deal. Okay. But for the people who make their decisions about their lives, their health, they were lied to. And that's what this is all about. So, yeah, the NFL likely going to sweep it under the rug.
I agree with you 100%. They always do.
So that's the difference in the NFL. The NFL tries to protect the NFL. The NBA, I do believe they do treat things and people fairly. Who do you got as a winner there, Keon?
He doesn't really text the show, so no text or nickname, but it's Art.
Art. Hey, Art, thanks for listening to the Daily Blender. And you don't have to text the show. I bet there's a shitload of people who don't. Why? They're driving. They're driving down the road, or they're just like, I don't want anyone I know to know I listen to this.
Which is also,
that's fine. As long as you listen, I'm happy. I'm all right. Okay, let's get this done. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2001. That's right. You know it, you love it. You can't live without it. The greatest sports moment in Arizona history occurred. Bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Game 7 to the World Series. Luis Gonzalez hits a little blooper into left center field off of the New York Yankees closer, Mariano Rivera. Dropped it in there. The single gave the Arizona Diamondbacks a 3-2 comeback from behind victory, and we win. Suck on that, Yankees! I don't even care if it was after 9/11. Oh, that was such a good day. I will always remember that. This feels so good. Yeah, it also feels good if you were watching. Derek Jeter sitting in the dugout, looking all forlorn. Joe Torre hanging on the railing. F my life, man.
Which he always has that look on his face. It's actually kind of hard to tell.
Well, but it felt sweet because he had to watch the Diamondbacks out there celebrating. He kind of slowly turns and goes back to the clubhouse. He's like, this is Yankee Stadium. This isn't right. Oh, it's just felt so good. That really made my day. Thank you so much. Big George says, I bet Aaron Rodgers has lied to Shailene Woodley too. Actually, no. The people are saying right now it's more the other way around, that it was the influence of Shailene Woodley. Somebody brought up that there is like this celebrity news article that says Shailene Woodley's do-it-yourself lifestyle. She makes her own medicines, eats clay, and drinks only spring water. What? So her quackery is, I believe, what Aaron Rodgers was following along with. I mean, I know it's a surprise. How in the heck could Aaron Rodgers test positive for COVID when following Shailene Woodley's homemade doctrine?
You know,
that's why.
Yeah, straight up homeopathy.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, careful how you say that. We'll get in trouble. Blissful Hayes.
It's never stopped us before.
Says, yeah, wait, you can text the show when you're not driving? We would actually prefer it that way.
If you can manage it, please.
Boomer Sooner says, good day, guys. Just got off of work. I know you're going to be off the air here pretty quick, but can I get a nice cold beer on this beautiful Phoenix day? There you go. That's for you. And we don't have the recorded Boomer Sooners yet, but we're working on that. Moist One says, we'll all remember that day, Jeffrey, but I've never heard anyone cheer about 9/11. Oh, I wasn't cheering about 9/11. What I was saying is, everybody wanted New York to win it because of that. Not me.
Wanted New York to be America's team, and Jeffrey O'Brien said, "No Yankees allowed."
Yep. I don't even care. I don't even care.
I was even pulling for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I mean,
what? Why?
That's just fun to laugh at the Yankees.
Wow, that's
Absolutely.
a shocker right there. We can at least share a hatred of the Yankees.
Absolutely.
It sounds like.
Yeah, can't stand them.
All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for us. Randy White will be back with us tomorrow. And, of course, coming up next, it's the epic showdown for the ages. If nothing else, it makes it interesting that there's a lunch bet on the line between Bruce Jacobs and I. Whatever. So the Jets versus the Colts coming up next here on 1580 The Fanatic. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of